Hey guys, Greg. Um, got a couple of things to mention. Um, Matt and I talked yesterday, and we were all over the board with some things. Uh, I really enjoy our phone conversations. Uh, we banter back and forth pretty good. Um, but I called him this morning. I needed to run this by somebody because, like I told him, I don't have a critical thinker within 100 miles of me. So, um, I don't know how, with me being one of the biggest Pink Floyd fans there is, how this got by me, and I've never made this connection before. But um, on the album The Wall, um, the song Goodbye Blue Sky, which the song itself, the title itself, is pretty nefarious. Uh, the very first thing on the album, it's not in the movie that I remember, but on the album, and it's actually Roger Waters' 2-year-old son that says this, but he says, "Look, mommy," it's mommy as in Egyptian mommy, but you know how people in Europe call their moms. So, look, mommy, an aeroplane in the sky. Now, goodbye blue sky, and the very first thing that comes out of it is, look, mommy, an aeroplane in the sky, which is what we're facing right now with the chemtrails and geoengineering or whatever they want to call it. Uh, the word chemtrails has become synonymous with conspiracy theory, so you can't say that anymore. Just like uh, crisis people has to be catastrophe thespians or something. Anyway, the point is, I don't know how to filter this stuff out. I don't do audio and video very well, so as far as editing, but it's because The Wall was a rock opera and it's supposed to flow together, all the songs. At the end of Goodbye Blue Sky, you hear an announcer saying, um, hang on, I'm going to have to read what that actually says again because I've forgotten already. It says something about the 11:15. Um, okay, let's see. Goodbye Blue Sky lyrics. The 11:15 from Newcastle is now approaching the 11:18 arrival, and that that's like a PA system announcement, and I think that they're at a train station right now. All this is still new. Just I'm just putting this out there right now because uh, I don't know how that got by me. As far as being, a Pink Floyd fan, and I called Matt to run it by him to ask him, if it's even worth mentioning. He thought it was, so that's why I'm even taking the time for now, at least, to just get it out there. Maybe we can figure this out together. But Newcastle, there's I ran a search online for Newcastle as far as occult ties to or esoteric, and there's an article that has to deal with the witch's circle is in this Newcastle that's being referred to in the song, Newcastle upon the Tyne. And the thing is, the 11:15 and the 11:18, just quickly, it can kind of somewhat be tied back to 9/11, maybe in a predictive programming way. You've got the 11 in both, but on one side of the 11 you've got 1 and 5. You add those together, you got a 6. You flip it, that's a 9. And we know how these people like to do. They like to write backwards, talk backwards, you know. And then the 11:18, well, 1 plus 8 is 9. So you've got the 11 and then the 9. And in Europe, they write their dates, you know, they put the month in the middle. So I do know that this was a gift to me from my son. This is the very thick version of the album. But just like with the Supertramp album that has the predictive programming for 9/11 on it, The Wall came out in 1979 as well. So I'm going to be working on that. I'm going to start trying to see if I can do some research on this. Some of you that know gematria, just do a Google search for Goodbye Blue Sky lyrics, and if you know how to do gematria, do something with it and see if you can figure something out, and let me know or let us know. Share it with everybody. I don't know how all that works. I really don't. Also, Enslaved by No Media, I've been watching some of his stuff, and I'm really starting to think he's onto something. It does appear that these chemtrail planes could possibly be small scale drone type planes that, when looked at from our perspective, appear to be 8 miles high, like a normal jet would be, but it's scaled down and, you know, flying at a lower ceiling. And to be honest with you, once these clouds start spreading out, you can see that it's a low-hanging ceiling anyway. These clouds, or whatever they are, once they've done spraying the hell out of the place, they look like old snow clouds, like what we used to say were snow clouds, because they're real low hanging. They look like a blanket, and you know, something flying 8 miles high, dropping that off like that, it's not gonna. How does it get back down here at that low of a level? So, Enslaved by No Media, and I'll leave a link to his channel. You should go check his stuff out. I I think he's on something. He's using a Nikon Coolpix PK900, and it's got like an 83 times optical zoom, and basically that's a telescope. You know, that's one of those smaller 80 power telescopes. So, um, and he's using his zoom based on a known distance and zooming into a known distance, and then he can zoom in on these planes. He can't. I mean, it's just you need to go watch some of his videos. I think he's really on something. Um, but just wanted to get something out real quick about that. I woke up this morning and I just sitting around and something hit me. I thought I don't know why it hit me. You know, Pink Floyd, "Goodbye Blue Sky" just hit me. It's just one of those tunes that everybody loves, you know, and then I don't know why I've never realized it before, because on the album or the CD or whatever version you have, um, there's a child, which is really Roger Waters' son, uh, Harry, who says, "Look, Mommy, there's an airplane in the sky." And then it goes on to talk about "Goodbye Blue Sky." And the announcer part with the Newcastle, the 11:15 with the Newcastle and the 11:18, that's actually split into two songs, because with The Wall it was supposed to be a rock opera and it was supposed to flow real fluidly, and at least on the CD version, the second half of that announcement is at the very beginning of the song "Empty Spaces," whereas the first part, the 11:15, that mentions Newcastle, is at the end of "Goodbye Blue Sky," and you have to listen closely. And I don't, if I knew how, I would filter it to where I could lift that track out. I don't know how to do that. Um, maybe somebody that's watching this does know how to do it, and maybe you could do that. Um, anyway, just a quick video. Uh, I just want to touch base on this and get it out. You know, kind of push it a little bit. I'm going to do some more research, especially with Newcastle, and Pink Floyd. You'll never convince me that "Dark Side of the Moon" was not created to go along with the movie The Wizard of Oz. You'll never convince me of that. It's one of those, like I mentioned in the last videos, too many million to one coincidences. It's just not going to happen. I think it was intentionally done. Whether they intentionally done it or not, I don't know. It may have been some type of force behind them driving it, but there's a tie to it. And same thing with The Wall, and it'd be in 1979, the same year that the Supertramp album came out, which had the predictive programming on the sleeve, or the dust jacket, whatever you want to call it. It's the same year, and anyway, I realize I'm rambling, so I'm gonna see what I can do with some research on this. I haven't really heard anybody mention this, and I don't know. Maybe somebody's already done something on this. So if they have, I'll try to find that too, and maybe take what they've done and see if I can, uh, find something further. But wanted to get a little quick video out and just mention that. Uh, I did see on one of the forums where somebody was talking about that there was no way that this song could be about 9/11 because it was released in '79 and 9/11 hadn't happened until 2001. Duh, but um, that particular song, Goodbye Blue Sky, when that song in the movie, when that song starts, a dove flies off and it becomes this black, malevolent looking bird, which turns into like an airplane. Looks like a SR-71 or something, and then it swoops down, and behind it there are trails. If you can find that scene on YouTube, I have the movie, but I don't want to cut that and put it on here. Anyway, if you know how to do gematria, do a search for Goodbye Blue Sky lyrics. Run those lyrics through whatever you do and see what you come up with. And if you don't mind, if somebody doesn't mind doing that and then sharing in the comments below, that'd be great. All right, I'm gonna do some more research on this. This is fresh. It just came up, so it's not something that I have anything concrete on right now. But just want to get it out there, and hopefully, we can get something figured out. Okay, take care. Everybody have a good one, and please be good to everyone else.